What is up, party people? I hope you're ready to party because it's a wedding episode. I know it's been a while. People haven't been going to weddings or anything like that, but that's slowly starting to change. So there are a lot of wedding traditions. Some are good and some are bad. But what I think is the most risky part of any wedding are the speeches. Some people treat it like comedy hour, where they just don't know where the line is, and others are just bad. So today, we're gonna check out some of these bad speeches and try our best not to cringe. So the first video we're looking at today is titled Best Man Speech Fail. My brother is a douche.
So turn your attention directly to the head table. It is time for the best man to give his remarks. Everybody, welcome Scott.
So the brother Scott doesn't seem to be super thrilled about doing a toast at this wedding. He starts off the speech talking about their father.
He had a very bad back, and the guy couldn't do anything by himself. Like, what do we got? Bad story, whatever. Anyways, I'm sucking already.
So Scott bails on the story about his father and goes switching scenes and talks about a completely new story.
Whatever. All right, switching scenes. Sorry. All right, I first met Whitney at the bachelor pad. That was also known as my dad's house.
Ooh. You know, the silence after a joke being said is always the worst for me to listen to because it's just like painful. Like he thinks that joke's gonna land. Look at him, he's like, yep, that's a funny joke that I came up with. But no one's laughing there, Scott.
I have two sisters, never cared for either of them, but
surprised the sister joke landed there. So this is where things get a little confusing because it sounds like Scott might have dated the bride.
Whitney I thought might be the one, and we had some good times, and then I found out she went to bed at about 7 o'clock, and that ruined that relationship too, so anyways, my brother's a douche. What do you want to know?
Look at the groom's face after this. He's just like, haha, I'm laughing, but I'm gonna kick his ass after this.
No, seriously though, Jason's always been a really good guy. We always haven't been the best of friends, but anytime I've ever needed Jason, he's always been there for me. Seriously, he took me to the hospital one time in the middle of the night. I'm not going to tell you guys about that story, but...
Come on, Scott. Tell us what happened at the hospital. It can't be worse than just telling your brother he's a douche on his wedding day.
We don't use the L word around the Hemmer house, but,
Oh, no. You don't say the L word in public? There are children here.
We don't use the L word around the Hemmer house, but, you're the man, brother.
I'm going to start using that with my family. Like, I'll be on the phone with my mom, and she'll be like, oh, I love you. And I'll be like, psh, you're the man, brother. I mean, look at this. Like, Scott's got the mic, and he's like, And the brothers are like, yo, no, I want to get out of here. I'm done. Also, if there was any time you were going to use the L word, I think your brother's wedding is an appropriate time to bring it out. So I don't know if they love each other. So this next one starts off pretty well. He gives props to everyone that made the day go off without any problems. And that's basically where it ends, because the rest of the speech does not feel rehearsed, does not feel prepped, and he takes long, awkward pauses?
You can't deny it's been an emotional day today. Even the cake is in tears.
Ooh. You hate that silence.
And I'm told the best man's speech should be no longer than it takes for the groom to make love. So I'm told it's to be under 2 minutes. Alright.
You know, the groom's just like, well, this is going to be a 2-hour speech then. Also, he said he was told that the groom lasted for 2 minutes. And that's just a very weird thing to ask the wife. So yeah, he's sort of rambling right now, but he did save the most epic pone ever for last.
I'd just like Mark and Katie to participate in my speech at the moment. And Katie, if you could place your right hand palm down on the table. Palm down on the table. Mark, if you could place your left hand palm down on top of Katie's hand. Mark, if you remember this for the rest of your life, take note, because this is the last time you'll ever have the upper hand.
I mean, damn. And honestly, I can't back on that. That was a good joke. That was funny. I liked it, you know? And I'm glad he got sort of laughs from people. It wasn't like a bursting laugh, but it was something. It was like, yeah, you know, good job. He made us laugh-ish. Still not going to bring your father back. So at the end, he closes it very well, congratulates the bride and groom, and just has no idea what to do next.
Mark and Catherine. Cheers.
Ugh, my dude. Yikes. So this one's a bit different. It's a maid of honor speech, and it starts off well. She talks about how great the bride and groom are. Typical wedding stuff, really. But things get juicy when the woman decides it's time to sing a song. And it's not just any song. No, it's a homemade song about the bride and groom. Quick pause here, guys. So when I was reviewing this, I realized I didn't really describe what was going on very well. Yes, the bride is singing and she's singing And We Dance by Macklemore. It's not really a homemade song though, it's more of an adaptive parody song-esque. Like the bride changes the lyrics of the song, but then at times is also quoting the song. You'll see, but yeah, I just thought I'd make that a bit clearer.
Christina and Justin's thing is kind of singing, so I have prepared a little song for Christina and Justin, and I hope you guys all enjoy it because I'm not as gifted as she is, or Justin, so please forgive me before I do this.
If you're not a good singer, don't sing. Play to your strengths here. But unfortunately, she still sings.
You will laugh, you will cry, you will have the most wonderful time of your lives. There you stand, hand in hand.
Man, this is something you do when people are way more drunk. Like, karaoke is fun, but karaoke is more fun when people have a few drinks in them.
Tonight, and the rest of your lives, am I right? Yes, he saw you in the corner.
I love how she screams at the couple just like, do as I say. I have the mic. I am the alpha. I have been watching those videos for a reason.
To the hoedown, and he found out this is where your heart's at. Big, strong, muscular arms, quick walk, your 2 left feet. Don't get me wrong, this chick is strong. Act and sang so.
So the problem with homemade songs like this is the audience has no idea what to do. Like if this was a cover of the song, people would be singing and clapping with it. And there's a few people clapping, but not a lot. If you look at the audience, they're just sort of like sitting there awkwardly.
You will have the most wonderful time of your lives.
Man, the bride right here is really trying to make this work, and it's just not working.
Hand in hand. I saw the look in her eyes.
I love that the groom thinks the song's over and he's like, all right, she's not singing anymore. I'm going to kiss my wife and be done with it. And then the maid of honor just jumps back into it. Oh God, stop. You can see no one in the audience is into this except the person recording it, and it's just, oh. So then the maid of honor starts quoting the song, but if you don't know she's quoting the song, it just sounds like gibberish. And I don't think this audience realizes she's quoting the song. So she quotes the song again, but puts her own spin on it. She's supposed to say, I just want to dance with you, and she changes it to, he just wants to marry you, which is nice, but it sounds like she's having a mental breakdown.
He just wanted to marry her. 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 You will laugh. You will cry. You will have the most wonderful
Oh, she starts to clap, but nobody claps. Oh.
time of your life. There you stand.
And of course everyone claps after she's done. So I'm not gonna lie, that was probably the hardest thing I've had to watch so far, but that woman committed to it, she went for it. It didn't work, but I still respect her for it. So I'll be honest, I've watched a handful of these videos now, and I actually haven't seen anyone go down the route of, oh, the wife is a hoe type joke. Until this one.
Ting ting. As Tracy's sister, and still being single now that she's married. She's had a lot of boyfriends in her past. And I would like to ask for those men who have still keys to her apartment to please bring them forward so that I may use them.
Yep, that sister just did that on her sister's wedding day. This is the worst public slut shaming I have ever seen. And the worst thing about this is this sister had to go to close friends and family and pitch them this idea. And no one went like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. That might like ruin her day. I know the quality's not great, but I can still feel the uncomfortableness through these pixels. So the sister sucks, just putting that lightly. She said at the beginning of the video that she's still single, and I can't imagine why. So they do the same thing with the groom, except the only person to return a key is the grandmother, which is just a very weird joke. So yeah, that's it for that one. That one I wasn't happy about that. So this next video is titled Two Daughters Wedding Speech Roast for their mother's third marriage.
While I do share happiness for my mother on this special day, I do have to point out that she tends to steal the show, as she said she couldn't wait to get married for the third time before her 30-year-old daughter gets married once. Oh. I'm sorry, Mom, if you made me a little skeptical about marriage.
Oh, get wrecked. Get some ice for that burn. Now, as the video continues on, I legit do not know if these two daughters want their mother marrying this guy because, this.
We all know I had my doubts about Chris at first. Little did I know that when I added Chris on Facebook, I was essentially clicking subscribe to 24-hour live tweets exposing the liberal conspiracy to destroy America.
I love how the groom gives like the Jim Halper look to the crowd like, well, they are.
Now, while I do cherish the First Amendment right to free speech in order to preserve our family unit, I just pressed unsubscribe and block spam.
I can already see their Thanksgiving dinners in the future, and they're not going to be fun. So I should add that the groom did ask the two daughters for their consent in the marriage, which is nice, but if they said no, it probably was still going to happen. So they continue on and things seem to be going well. They zing the bride and groom a bit more and we find out that it's not the groom's first wedding either. So everything seems to be going well. But then this happens.
We thought since this isn't either of your first rodeos, you might need some advice. Here's a list of everything you need to know in life that we learned in kindergarten.
Share everything.
Play fair.
Don't hit people.
Why do you feel the need to say that? Because if you need to remind people at their age not to do that, the fuck?
Don't take things that aren't yours.
Say sorry when you hurt somebody.
I'm throwing some red flags here. I'm hoping they're saying this is like, oh, it's stuff that I've learned from the other marriages and not something I'm gonna bring into this marriage. But it sounds like they are trying to give them advice. And that's where I'm concerned. I'm hoping this is something like, hey, I learned this from my other relationships, and now I'm a better person for it. And not a, hey, just a reminder, don't hurt people. So I looked it up, and this couple is still together, so I'm happy that they are working out. So this next speech is definitely the best out of the bunch, so make sure to take notes, because this is how you write a speech for a wedding.
So when I talked to my married friends about marriage, they really threw me some tidbits, some nuggets of wisdom, and I took that in, I internalized it, and then I wrote it down in the format of a testimonial for an infomercial.
Out of all the things you could have done, you chose infomercial? Why? So here's the first infomercial review.
I used to cry when I masturbate. Guys. Focus. But now I have sex with my wife. Thanks, marriage.
Man, this is one really cool guy. You know, I can't wait for this guy to start talking about how the groom is part of his wolf pack. And it's just not going to be the same anymore because he's married.
Julie from New Jersey writes, now that we're married, I don't have to swallow anymore. Thanks, marriage.
I'm starting to question if he has married friends.
Mike from New Jersey writes, no, she certainly doesn't swallow anymore. But once a month, she lets me put it in her pooper. And, thanks, marriage.
Okay. Wow. I think this guy's trying to tell us that marriage stinks. So watching this speech actually reminded me of the movie The Joker, when the Joker's writing down all of the things that make people laugh. So I decided to check out what the Joker had actually written down, and I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty much exactly what this best man is doing in his speech. I mean, seriously, look at this. Work the crowd, dress nice, but casual, slick back hair, eye contact, sexy jokes, always funny. Also, he sorta is dressed like the Joker. So then the guy sort of starts talking down to the wife a bit because she's not paying attention to him. And then he also gets mad because the crowd isn't paying attention to him.
Robin, focus. I'm right here. I'm right here. Focus, guys. And so I think what we can learn from this. Guys, I'm giving a speech here. Keep your composure.
So then you think he's about to get sincere with the couple, but he doesn't.
Marriage is about compromise. No, seriously. Marriage is about compromise. Just like any relationship, friendship, or whatever. But in marriage, when you compromise, you have to know when to spread your butt cheeks.
Oh. I cannot believe he just said that to the bride. So, you think he's about to pull it together and say something heartwarming? Come on now.
You two are so truly blessed to have found each other. Like, really. Because there are some people who will never, ever find what you have. And those people will be doomed to forever cry while masturbating. Like I did this morning.
Give it up. Give it up here, guys. Give it up. So I've watched a lot of these best man speeches now, and the one thing I keep coming back to is, where are all the masturbation jokes? Every great speech has one. Did you ever really look at the Gettysburg Address? Filled of masturbation jokes. So the best man wants to read a poem now, but someone's not going to let that happen.
And this is written by... It was actually performed by Neil Patrick Harris. And when I first... Hey, how are you? Well, I mean, I think it's pretty good.
Take him down, mother bear. Get this edgelord out of here.
What I'm trying to say is, congratulations.
That is the most unhappy congratulations I have ever heard. So yeah, that's the end to that amazing speech. All right, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed your time here. I sure did. I learned so much today, and I hope you did too. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Do all the YouTube-y things, and I will catch you on the flippity flop.